are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2019 movie Frozen 2. So in this movie, Elsa, Anna, Kristoff, and Olaf head far into the forest to learn the truth about an ancient mystery of their kingdom. So, this is a pretty decent sequel. I think the story is good enough. It's definitely not near as good as the original, but there are things I like about it. I love how we kind of discover in the forest the Nathalja tribe, which is where Anna and Elsa's mom comes from, and kind of leans into why Elsa has her powers and stuff. And we also meet some of the Arendelle guards and stuff that were there in the forest too when this curse happened and everything, and kind of find out more about the history of Arendelle and everything as well, which I thought was pretty cool. And everything. So I like that and everything about the whole setup and everything. I think that was pretty cool. The songs are decent, not near as good as they are in the original either. That's another big thing that it makes it a big step down and everything. Lost in the Woods is really the only song in here that I ever really listened to when I listened to Disney music and stuff and everything. It's probably the only song that really stands out in the movie to me and everything, which is also one of the things that this movie did that I did always want the first one to do. Is I loved Kristoff in the first movie and wish he had a song. In this one they give him one, and it's pretty great. Everything, and the animation is gorgeous for the most part. I think it's a really really pretty movie and everything. I will say that the fall setting and bland fall colors they're not bad or anything. They work fine for the movie, but I've seen it done better in other stuff and everything, and it just isn't as pretty as the first movie was, but it still has pretty good animation and everything, and it's cool getting to spend more time with these characters that we've grown to love so much since the first Frozen movie and everything. But I will say that while the story is good and everything, it's definitely not near as good as the original though. There's no way that this movie is even close to as good as the first one and everything, but that is a Disney thing. They've never made a sequel that was better than the original that I can't think of any sequel that Disney has made that wasn't a Pixar movie that has been better than the original anyway and everything. So I didn't really go in expecting it to be as good as the original and everything, so I didn't really come out as disappointed as some people did. I know a lot of people had super high expectations for this movie, and as you should expect with Disney, if you have those kind of expectations, you're going to be let down, because Disney has never gave us a sequel that was as good as the original and everything. Like I said, the songs are kind of a mixed bag. I like Into the Unknown and Show Yourself. They're okay songs and everything. You could tell they were really trying very hard, especially with Show Yourself, to recapture the phenomenon that was Let It Go and everything, and there was no way they were going to recapture that and everything, but they were trying really hard by giving Elsa 2 songs and everything. And I think the Next Right Thing, which is Anna's song, was okay. It was kind of disappointing and stuff, especially compared to her song For the First Time in Forever that came out in the first movie and everything. Her song just was not near as good. And Olaf's the song about being older and stuff, that one was okay. It's no In Summer or anything, but it's okay. It's kind of catchy, but nothing super great and everything. So I think all of the songs in here are just kind of mediocre. They're not any of them, I would say, are any of the best Disney songs ever or anything. I don't think they rank up there with most of the songs from other Disney movies or from this movie itself and everything. I felt like the music was pretty lacking in Frozen 2. And I wish they would have done a lot more with Kristoff and stuff. He was such an integral part of the first movie. In this one, most of the movie he's trying to figure out how to propose to Anna and stuff, and Anna is kind of like in a weird headspace and everything because she's worried about so much stuff going on and everything, and he's feels like he's not communicating with her throughout most of the movie, and that they're growing apart and stuff. And I just don't really care too much for the character arcs and stuff in this movie and everything. So like I feel like they could have done a lot better with that too. But yeah, so I like Frozen 2. I think it's a good movie, but it's definitely not near as good as the original, and it's not near as memorable either. Like, I've seen this movie 3 or 4 times, and every time I watch it and stuff, it's like I don't feel the same way I do with Frozen, where that movie I like it more every time I watch it. This one, I wouldn't say I like it less, but it's never really grown on me or anything. It hasn't, I don't feel like the quality has ever really dipped or anything on rewatch. Like with Ralph Breaks the Internet, that movie was just god awful and everything, but I don't feel this movie had enough merit to really stand on its own to have a good reason to exist, except for Frozen was the biggest Disney movie of all time, so they had to make a sequel and everything, and this one became the highest grossing animated movie of all time too and everything. So I'm not really surprised and everything. But this is it's an okay movie. Like I said, I feel like they could have done better with Frozen 2, but I feel like they could have done worse too, because I really didn't know where the heck they could really go from the first one anyway. It felt like the first one kind of completed its story. I hope Frozen 3 and 4 are really good, and maybe by the time those movies come out and everything, the whole series will just feel great and everything, because there are some franchises where the first sequel doesn't fully stick the landing, but the ones after it bring it around and everything, and make it worth it and everything. So I mean, it's hard to say where it's gonna go and how it'll feel, but I do feel there was enough left at the end of this movie that made me leave wanting enough more and everything. I hope that they explore more of the world and stuff and everything in Frozen 3, and I feel like there's still more questions about Elsa's powers and stuff that weren't fully answered in this one, so I hope Frozen 3 answers that. And then, of course, the movie ends with Anna becoming queen and her engagement to Kristoff. I would love to see how that plays out in the next movie or two, and see, like, maybe finally see them get married and stuff, and everything. It'd even be cool to see, like, them adjusting to life as king and queen of Arendelle and everything. So, like, I feel like there is a lot more room for sequels and stuff. Like, this one set up what could become a pretty good franchise and everything, but I feel like it's definitely not quite as strong as that first one. And the first movie was not made to have a sequel, because for a long time Disney Animation Studios tried to stay away from sequels and stuff. You know, they did The Rescuers Down Under and Winnie the Pooh and Fantasia 2000. Those were the only sequels they had done up until Ralph Breaks the Internet came out, and that movie and this movie are starting a horrible trend at Disney Animation Studios, launching them into their new dark age, where for the next few years all we're getting is sequels. We're getting Moana 2, which when I reviewed that movie a couple weeks ago, I was like, I kind of wanted a sequel to Moana, but not the way that they're doing it. Like, they're turning a Disney Plus show into a movie, and anytime Disney has done that, where they've turned TV shows into movies, it has not worked and everything. You got Belle's Magical World and Atlantis Milo's Return and Tarzan and Jane. All of those were TV shows that got edited into a movie, and they were all pretty mediocre to absolutely horrible. I haven't seen Atlantis Milo's Return, but Beauty and the Beast Belle's Magical World is hands down the worst Disney sequel out there that I could think of, and Tarzan and Jane is not much far behind it. And then you got and everything. So I don't have a lot of high hopes for Moana 2 and everything. I'm not that excited for it. And then after that you have Zootopia 2, and then Frozen 3 and 4. And really and truly, I think Frozen 3 and 4 are the only ones that I'm really excited for. Zootopia 2, I'm kind of curious about it, because I do feel that one could also have a good enough sequel and everything, so I'm hoping for the best with that one. I'm not excited for Moana 2, though. I'm really cautious about that one, but the next ones, I think I'm looking forward to them, but Disney is not meant to be sequel driven. They were meant to be original animated movies or original takes on classic stories and stuff like this is not what Disney is meant to be, and I don't like that this movie and Ralph Breaks the Internet have set the new sequel trend of theatrical direct-to-video movies, because that's what Ralph Breaks the Internet felt like, and this one kind of did too. It didn't feel like it was an inferior story to the original. It didn't feel like there was a good merit for it to exist, except just to cash in on the success of the first one and everything. So nobody was demanding a sequel to Frozen, I don't think, and I don't think we necessarily needed one. That being said, I think it's okay, and it's watchable. I enjoy it. I've watched it quite a few times with my best friend's daughter and everything, so like I have some value to it. I think it's an enjoyable movie, but it's definitely not near as good as that first Frozen movie. And it's not an instant classic like the first one was or anything, and it's definitely not even one of Disney Animation Studios' best movies and everything. So, all in all, I will say that it's a decent enough sequel that could have been better and everything, especially compared to other Disney sequels that could have been so much worse too, and everything. But it doesn't feel like it has a reason to exist except it's a cash grab and everything. So I'll say I enjoyed it though, and I'd go as far to give it an 8.5 out of 10. That's not bad and everything. I feel like it is a decent enough movie, but I think every Disney Animation Studio movie that has came out since then that I've seen, I haven't seen Strange World, but all the other ones have been way, way, way better than this and everything, because they're original stories with original concepts and stuff, and this one just doesn't live up to the Disney Animation Studio standard and everything, like all the other sequels that they have done. Like, none of them live up to it, so it's not really a surprise though. But anyway, so yeah, anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Frozen 2. Do you think it's as good as the first one or better? Let me know. I will say that Anna and Elsa's relationship is pretty well written in here and everything too. And there are some fun moments, and I will say also the ending just feels rushed as heck. And that's another thing that I just don't really like about the movie, is that the ending is rushed. You know, as soon as Show Yourself is over, Elsa freezes up and pretty much dies. Anna walks outside, tells them to throw the rocks at the bridge, and then it's over. Like it felt very anticlimactic and stuff too. I felt there could have been a lot more with this, and I hope we get a lot more in the sequels. But all in all, this one just it was okay. And for right now, it's one that I think is a good movie and everything, but it's hard to say how well this one's going to hold up as time goes on and we get these other sequels. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Frozen 2, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.